Hi Shiva.
Hi, sir.
So what is the demo you are giving today?
So today I'm going to create the resources using ARM template. So the basic resources like VM and the VNet, then subnets and the web app service like one database storage account. So all the resources are created by using this ARM template.
So you are setting up the minimal resources required for the Azure infrastructure with
Yes,
automation scripts, JSON scripts, right? Those all are ARM
yes,
template scripts.
yeah,
Okay.
Jason.
Go. Yeah. Go ahead with your explanation.
So this is our demo today. So, so this is introduction about ARM template. So basically, the ARM template is one type of JSON file. So the JSON file will it has the five parameter sections. So basically, so the main part of the section is about parameters. So basically it provides the values during the deployment. So it will allow the same template we can use for different environments. If you want to use, you can use for different environments for the parameters JSON file. And this is the variable section. So because variables means so the values will change for the different deployments. So it define the values that are reused in your template, and also you can construct it from parameter values. You can configure from the parameters inside the variable section. And the third one is user defined functions. So basically this is the function which we can create and customize that can simplify our template by with the different environments. And this is the main part in the ARM template, because all resources are created under the resources section. So whatever the resources you need actually, so you need to specify the required resources in order to deploy in the resources part. So you need to mention all the resources inside the resources section. The final part is output section. So basically it will return the values whatever we have configured inside the resources part from the deployed sources. So this is our introduction about ARM template section. So I'm going to do the task. These are the tasks which I'm going to do now. So first one, we'll create one a storage account resource type. Then we'll create a VNet network resource type, and also the virtual machine also will create, and web app service also we will create from the ARM template, and the MySQL server also we are creating from the ARM template. So once all are created, once it is deployed in the resource group, then we can view all the resources and we can verify. So first step is we are going to create one storage account resource type by using the ARM template. So for that, just you can log in into the Azure portal console page. Then you can select the custom deployment option on the Azure console page. Then we can click on the build your own template. So let's Azure console page. So just go to home page. So click on the deploy a custom page. So select build your own template. So basically this is our basic structure of our ARM template. So it contains the schema, so which is the one type of Azure URL, and the second one is content version. So it will maintain the versions of the our Azure template. Then the parameters. So whatever the parameters are required to deploy our resources, so that parameter values are available under the parameters section, and the resources will available under the resources part. So first we will create one Azure account, right? So let's go to add resource. Then you can select your storage account. So just you can mention the name of the storage account, ARM template. So click on OK. So just I have created one Azure ARM template. So I didn't do anything, just I created one resource. So it will take all the parameters and the resources by taking the Azure template. So inside the parameters, these are the key value pairs. So this is the Azure template type. So string is the type. So this is the default value, standard lower redundancy storage. So this is the basically default value. So if you don't give the value, then it will take by default this value. So we can also configure these values inside this default value. If you want, you can give this value based on your requirement. So under the resources part, this is the key value page. So first you need to mention the name and the type, the location of our resources. This is the API version. So it depends on the this name, the properties, and under the variables part. So this is our ARM template name. This is the function. So in fact, it has three functions. On the resource group ID, so it will give the input to the init string. So it will generate one random number, then it will concat with the ARM template resource group name, and it will generate that name to the storage account. So just go to our PPT. So just we have created one storage account. So once you verify, then all the parameters are available, then click on save. So just go to save this. So you can save that. So the next part is we are going to create a virtual network. So for that, let me just go to edit template, then go to add resource. So in the next time you are going to select the virtual network. So just mention the name. So click on OK. So I have just select add resource, and I selected the virtual network. So you can see there is another, so the virtual network is actually added under the resources part. So this is the second, have just now created the resource vnet. So all the keys are common. So the name is vnet, and the type is basically provides from the Microsoft network, and the location is resource group function dot location. So this is the version. So all the keys are common for every resource, and under the virtual network, these are the subnets. This is the under the variable object with vnet subnet one name. So these are the properties. So because this is the simple virtual network, so it has only one properties. So but if you want some more properties, we can refer with the Azure documentation. So it might have some more properties are available. So based on our requirement, we can configure inside these properties. So finally, under the variables, so these are my ARM template name, and this is my VNet prefix, the VPC CIDR range. So this is the subnet 1 name, and this is the prefix, and this is subnet 2 name, and this is the prefix. So if you want, you can change this. You can change 10.1. You can configure. So just click on save. So once all the properties are configured, then click on save. So on the next task is we are going to create a virtual machine, Linux. Then just go to edit template. So click on add resource. Now I am going to select the virtual machine Ubuntu. So just mention the name. So we need to select the template also, as well as the existing virtual network also. So select your existing, or you can create new. So I already created a template, ARM template, as well as the virtual network. So just click on OK. So it will create another resources for the VM resource. So let's just click on VM. So this is the just created for VM resource. So these keys are common for everything, which has a name and type and location and version. So it depends on the variables we have configured the just ARM template and there is the virtual network. So this is the display name, my VM, and these are the properties under the VM. So you can change the VM size also. So okay, let me change VM size now. This is the OS profile with the parameters. Under the parameters, it has the values. So I will show you this on the parameters.json file. So these are the just configurations in order to create our virtual machine. So under the variable section, some more keys are added in order to create VM. See the VNet prefix. So we already discussed up to subnets level, and this is the my VM image publisher canonical. This is my VM image Ubuntu server. So this is my VM size. So if you want, you can change this from higher to lower. Then just mention size. Basically, this is the least size. So then click on save. So just we created another virtual machine resource. Just to have once you verify the properties, then click on save. Just I saved my resource. And the next thing is we are going to create one app service plan and as well as the web app service. So just go to your edit template. So click on add resource. Click on this. So go to app service plan. So just mention the name of the service plan. Okay. Service plan. The name. So click on OK. So if you just select this service plan, so it has some code like same keys available, same name of the service plan, and the type is provided by micro.web web server forms, and this is the location, and this is the API version. So it depends on the service plan. So these are the properties which are under the service plan. So the name and the SKU, the worker size. So the number of workers is 1. So you can change this number of workers under the properties. So under the variable section, the service plan configuration also added. So yes. So let's just click on save. So go to edit template. So I just created app service, and I'm going to create a web app, and I can configure. So click on add resource, select a resource. So I have created already app service plan. Now I'm going to create a web app service. So just mention the name of this web app. So select the template which you have already created, service plan template. Click on OK. So just to select this web app resource. So it generated automatically this. So the keys are same, and the properties it has under the variables web app name. So inside this variables, the web app name is configured. So just click on save. So this is our creation of web app resource by using ARM template. So once you verify all the properties which you have configured, then click on save. So the task 5 is we are going to create the MySQL server DB. So let's just configure this. So go to edit template. So click on add resource. So just select your SQL server. So just mention name of the server. Click on OK. So just select MySQL. So it has the same keys available for the resource MySQL. So the name of the MySQL is MySQL name under the variables section. So it's provided by the Microsoft SQL/servers. So these are the location and API version. So these are the properties. So we need to configure the administrator login as well as the password in order to connect with this MySQL server. So these are the resources, and under the variables, this is MySQL name with this contact function. So click on save. So just configure this MySQL server. So once you configured all the resources, 7 resources, then we are going to create under the resource group. So for that, let me create one resource group. Resource group 1. So before going to create, let me edit our parameters. So whatever the parameters are available, see the ARM template. So this is the standard LRS only. So just you need to mention this VM name. This. Just you can share. Admin username. So basically it has the two files. One is the deployment.json file, and this is the parameters.json file. So just we can extract the parameters values from the deployment.json file to the parameters.json file, and we can just configure inside this parameters.json file, so that if we want to deploy this template in 10 times also, you can just configure the values here inside the parameters.json file. So you don't want to touch that deployment.json file. So just you can get all the values inside this parameter.json file. Values into so whatever the values you need to change in order to your requirement, then you can just configure all the values.
What happened?
Yeah, just I'm configuring the values inside this parameter JSON file. So once you can configure, then just click on save. So once you save the resources, then you can create one resource group. So I'm going to take East US region. So I just configure this my VM admin username as well as the password. So just review and create. So once the validation is successfully done, then just click on create. So that whatever the resources are we have configured, so it will be deploying. So it will take a few seconds. So this is my VM network, virtual network, and this is a service plan, app service plan, and this is my VNet. It has created a virtual network, and this is my template, ARM template. This is my MySQL DB. So it will create step by step. Okay, so it takes deployment bits failed. So admin is not validated. Okay, let me change this name. So go to redeploy. Edit this parameter. So let me change this admin name. Let me say. Just select your resource group. So that password. Just save this. So just select your resource group. Okay, just click on review and create. Select go on create. So it will take. So all the resources are deploying state. So let me wait a few seconds. So okay, so our deployment is completed. So just go to the resource group. So you can verify the resources. So this is your ARM template resource. So the blob service file, the storage account resources. This is storage account. So this is your MySQL. This is your virtual machine. This is your virtual network interface. Web app. So this is your web app service. This is your URL. So the web app service is running. So these are the resources we have created by using this ARM template. Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So 4 resources, right?
Yeah, MySQL, VM, and virtual network, web app, and 5 resources.
Okay. Can we run that all scripts in one shell script?
One,
Shell
yeah,
script. From Cloud Shell, you can run that, right? PowerShell. Instead of operating all those, you have scripts. If you run them in a shell script using PowerShell, then it will create in the backend. Then you can see the resources names, right? Because you
yes,
included everything, right? Including VNet ID, subnet ID, all those things, right?
yeah, yes.
So you try next time, try to run from the PowerShell to automate in a single shell script
Okay,
instead of operating from the front end, from the portal.
yeah, this is one type of deployment method.
Yes, from front end you showed it. But if you copy those scripts in particular JSON file and you can run them using shell script also in the PowerShell. You identify that technique and use it.
Yes. Next, I will go through that.
Because in live projects they don't use portal access, the access backend only they use it. Particularly in Azure, you have 4 ways of accessing, right? One is portal access, then PowerShell is there, Cloud Shell is there, then
CLI,
no, what is the fourth one?
the REST API.
Yeah, REST API, yes. So you try through all of them by using these scripts running in the backend to create the resources. Like
Okay.
how you did for AWS CLI,
Yeah,
running the
all the,
Terraform script
yes.
from your laptop, right? By connecting to AWS using IAM ID.
Yes, access
The
easy.
same way you try here using the ARM template code, and it should work. And come for a demo also to show that solution.
Sure.
Okay, I'll stop recording. Yeah.